Hello, my loves. Johanna Burkhart here, spiritual teacher and healer, and your ambassador for Gene Key 22. We are moving on to the body challenge, and this is probably going to be a little bit different too, but y'all are just getting used to my style, so it's okay. We are going to be talking about root energy because that is really what is a representative of our physical body. In fact, the lower three chakras are what really makes us human. And that's why this energy of grace and Gene Key 22 is such a big one, because it is the bridge, it is the gap, right? And we bridge that gap by bringing the densities of the lower three chakras that we've come to work out, whether it be karmically or our own divine blueprint that we have created, our own path. And we take those densities and we allow them to be met and embraced in the heart space, the space where there is infinite energy to hold the hurt and the anger and the wounds in a safe space to be seen, heard, felt, and then embraced, accepted, and integrated, which then opens up an expansion of light, which activates the higher chakras and activates our extrasensory abilities, and that quantum leaping can occur. Okay, so with the root energy is a representing of our karma. It is what has, when somebody dies, the leftover karma gets deposited into the Akash, and we take a slice of that and say, we'll work that out while we take our next round, right? And we take on that piece. And this is where a lot of the unconscious aspects of us are, the hidden, deep things that didn't necessarily play out in this life, but maybe happened in a past life, but then we had experiences that further anchored those energies, those karmic energies, and expanded them, right? So when you understand the gene keys, you understand that there's these cycles that happen from inception to the SQ to the EQ to the IQ, and you have these moments where this karmic energy has an opportunity to be presented, played out, healed, but a lot of times it gets further anchored and becomes a root belief system that's very dishonoring of ourselves. Okay, so this is probably the biggest challenge for people, and I know it is for a lot of my clients who come to me or who take my courses. This is everything that I'm talking about is what I really specialize in, is creating that unity within you, that everything you need is within you. So for the body challenge, this is learning to create and hold space for yourself, right? If you look at an infinity loop, the skinniest point is right at the heart space. And why that is because there's these huge V's, this huge space to create, right? So we have this lower density and we have all this higher knowing, and in the middle is our space of creation. And so it's really important to learn how to hold space for yourself. And so I really encourage everybody to do this challenge. So it's simple, because it's at a quantum level, and us humans complicate things and make them hard and difficult when they're really not. So this is all you have to do to hold space for yourself. When you are triggered, and this is the challenge. So when you are triggered, when something comes up, something's not working right, somebody has said something that has hurt your feelings, you are jumping into fight, flight, or freeze, there's something happening in your body, right? You understand, you feel it, you have this urge to react and speak, you have this urge to take action and course correct, right? But what if instead, the moment that you felt that energy to react, that energy to get up and do even though you don't want to, that energy to disempower yourself or another being because you're in a triggered or wounded state, what if you excused yourself and you found a safe space to sit down and take 5 or 10 minutes for yourself? And in that moment, I want you to visualize walking into that space. For me, it's my closet, but I walk in and it's like you're walking into a temple. You're creating a temple for yourself. This space is your temple, and it can be anywhere. It can be a bathroom stall at a restaurant. It could be transformed into a temple, right? As soon as you walk into that space, you know you're holding space. This is the temple energy. This space is free for you to cry, to scream, to write, to be, to see all sides, all personalities, every part of you that is showing up to this party. Okay. And so you can step into, this is where we use omnipresence. It's as if you're stepping outside of yourself and you are becoming the divine mother. You're being the negotiator, the therapist, the neutral party. And you're going to get out your pen and paper. You can do this over video too. You can record yourself on Zoom and save it, or on your phone and save it to Dropbox, or delete it, whatever, right? So however you best express. Some write, some speak, some do both, whatever. Draw, you can draw. Any way to do this interview process. You're going to begin interviewing the personalities of you. So you're going to start, and you're going to start with the loudest, which is usually the ego. So you're going to sit down, you're going to take a few breaths. And you're just going to start talking to yourself. I am safe, because the root chakra is I am safe. Safe to feel, safe to speak, safe to think, safe to act. It is safe to have this emotion. It is safe to think this way. It is safe to feel this way. It is safe. You are safe, right? Because when you're in fight, flight, or freeze, my spirit team calls it the trauma alert system. Your trauma alert system's been activated, right? That nervous system has been activated. It's in a heightened state. You're feeling anxious. You're feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling like you're being cornered. You feel like you might be about to be humiliated. Whatever that energy is, it needs to be met with love and kindness, and it needs to be acknowledged. So when I come into my space, the first thing I say, I am disempowered. I am feeling disempowered. Okay, I am safe to feel this way. I am safe. We are safe. Then I began interviewing parts of me. So, okay, ego. Ego's usually the really loud voice, the bully voice, right? Ego, what do you have to say about this? Like, what would you like me to know? And you sit there like an interview, all right? Whatever thoughts come in, whatever voices you hear, whatever energy you feel, just say the ego says and start writing it out. Give it a voice. Allow it to be expressed. Allow it to be seen and heard. Thank you, ego. Thank you for your input. You're right. In the past, we would have felt X, Y, and Z. Yes, I understand where you're coming from. I see you. I hear you. I love you. It's okay for you to feel this way. Moving on, inner child. I call it the inner child collective, but you can just say, okay, inner children, inner child, what is it that you would like to say about this? Now, you'll notice the shift within inner child. If you're not familiar with identifying the different voices, you can follow me and tap into my teachings. This is my jam. This is my thing, bringing us all into one, and how to see with your whole self, how to know that everything is within you. So you want to tune into that inner child collective. The inner child is going to could be throwing a tantrum. They may just want to cry. Maybe they say, this is unfair. It's not right. It's not okay. I don't want to do this. Whatever it is, this is judgment-free zone. Remember, you're holding space for yourself. You are being the negotiator, the peacekeeper. You are being the neutral party that is just here to listen and observe and to accept what that part of you is saying. Okay. And then you want to come into your fear personalities, right? What are the personalities that are coming in to course correct you, to give you that boost of power? For me, it was my stepmom. She was always the bully, the mean one, the one that had me on my toes quickly in fear, right? It's going to be the people in your life as a child that invoked fear in you, that got your attention, made you stand up. Those are fear personalities. What are the fear personalities saying? Can you label the fear personality? Can you tell, oh my God, I sound like my mother right now, or oh my God, I sound like my father right now, right? Can you decipher that fear personality? Let that fear personality express itself. And in those moments when you're giving light to all these things, right, you want to bring in that last piece, which is your higher self. What does higher self have to say about this? Right? And this is when you're going to have to get real mindful, and you're going to have to sit, and you're just going to have to breathe and allow any emotions to be expressed, purge, make space, and listen to that quiet, still, loving voice within you. The higher self, like, write down, say out loud, whatever you need to do, whatever the higher self is saying. And remember, the higher self is simple. They get to the point. They say what they need to say, what they mean to say, and they do it with love and kindness and compassion. And once you have written all that down, you can go back and read it if you want, but it's a matter of breathing and resetting that trauma alert system, that nervous system, giving that moment to have everything expressed fully in a safe space without further quantum entangling other people and making the wound bigger, and therefore and also bleeding onto other people from a wound, that wasn't even theirs. Because when we react, when we take action based upon our triggers and our wounds, what we're doing is we're taking our net, our wounded net, and we're casting it into them. And then we're pulling it back into us. And then we're blaming, right? Projecting, pushing it all into them. And then we're pulling that back in. And then we're trying to go in our separate ways to heal. And we get that pull back. We get the knot because we've just quantum entangled ourselves. So now we're stuck. We can't move, can't do anything. Definitely not safe. You've definitely created a cage, and now you're stuck, and you have brought in new energies, made the wound bigger. You see what I'm saying? So holding space for yourself allows you to hear yourself, to read your own thoughts, and to say, it's okay. It is okay for me to feel this way. Because the minute you accept where you are, that is your 0 point. Now, once you've accepted where you are and you've taken a breath and you said, I'm not going to fix it. This is where I am. I'm just going to hold space for myself. I'm just going to hear myself out. I'm going to feel myself. Now I can create that 0 point, that energy of grace, that energy in our heart space, right? This allows us to make space so that we can now go and create. And we walk out of that room, whatever place we took our temple break, right? And now we're going to create a new interaction, because instead of reacting, we're going to come back with a beautiful response that is in the energy of love and compassion. And we have now broken a negative loop, a negative pattern, and we have created forward motion in a way that is very serving for all parties. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed these challenges, and I am so honored to be your ambassador. Thank you.